funny, intelligent, eloquent, and charming. Yes, you probably think I'm going to make another film about myself, right? Right? But am I? Let's find out. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about Fenris of Darkthrone mainly, but also some other things. You can hear about the cornflakes episode from that documentary, so I'm not going to talk about that. But I can tell you some other anecdotes and some things about Fenris. I think everybody who knows Fenris think he's a great guy. He, like I said in the introduction, he's charming, intelligent, funny, and easy to like. From 1991 to 1993, he regularly frequented Euronymous' shop, and he worked at the postal office. And after work, he bought a case of beer, and he came to the shop and he sat there and drank it. So he was pretty much drunk most of the time when I knew him, and yeah, he was. We all liked him, I think. I don't think anybody in the scene has anything bad to say about him, except of course that he was drunk. I don't know if he still is, but I hope not. So I knew him from that, from talking to him in the shop, really, when I was there. And after I had killed Euronymous, I had also ordered the printing of Det som en gang var. And it had been printed in Oslo, so I drove from Bergen to Oslo to get the CDs. I think it was printed in I ordered 500 copies, but only 400 something was delivered, because they had misprinted some, and the cover was had a misprint as well. But I collected the CDs, and when I did, of course, I dropped by Fenris' house in Ski, and I had a friend of mine accompanying me, and we talked, and my friend, who didn't know Fenris, left to get out and sit in the car. I don't know why. And I gave him one of my CDs. And the funny thing is that when I was to leave, actually I didn't give him a CD at that point. I asked him if he wanted a CD, and I had it in the car. So he had to accompany me to the car. But he was a bit nervous because of Euronymous had just been killed, and he didn't really know what was going on. But he pretty much understood that I had done it, so he was nervous, and he brought an axe, a big axe, to the car. So I gave him the CD, and he told me when he took the axe, he said, "You can't be sure, So he took the axe and joined me to the car, and he got the CD, and we left. And I later on read from police reports. They had interviewed both him and his wife, and they said that when I came, the guy I was with was really nervous. I was relaxed and perfectly normal, but my friend was really, really nervous, so they suspected something. Yeah, I don't really I don't have any contact with Fenris at this point. And Vill du ikke dra?
No.
No, okay. I don't have any contact with him now, not because I don't like him or anything, but you know, we don't really have much in common. Skal hjem til mamma? He wants to go home to his mother. And I think we have a very different perspective on what happened. But I'm pretty sure my perspective is more correct, simply because he was drunk most of the time. So I think he romanticized a bit too much about the scene. And yeah, it's okay, but I think it's wrong, but that's his right. The other guys in Darkthrone I only met a couple of times. That is, I met Ivar one time in Euronymous' place when Euronymous was setting them straight. I talked about that in one of my other videos. And I met the vocalist Nocturno Culto, I think 1 or 2 times in the shop. And according to Euronymous, he was so dark, he was so true cult, that he was just living alone in the forest and being evil. But of course, in reality, he just didn't like most of the guys who hang out in the shop. So that's the reason why he wasn't there too often. That's of course what I was later told. So I never really talked to him, don't know him, and in a sense he wasn't really even a part of the scene at the time, because he didn't socialize with Euronymous, other than with a few exceptions. So, and he should be grateful, because that was not a scene worth spending time in. So, to sum it up, that's really all I know in relation to Fenris and Darkthrone. That I don't know them any better than that. I've written a few emails with him some years ago, and I think we can say that he is a very original character in a positive sense. He will be remembered, and a creative person. He's intelligent, eloquent, and from my perspective, when I looked at the scene, I didn't find a lot of intellectual capacity, so to speak, but I think he was pretty smart and probably, you know, the only one with a serious intellectual capacity in that scene in Oslo. So I can add that Fenris never ratted anybody out, and I think the reason why he asked me to make lyrics for some of the tracks on a few of his albums was because he was annoyed at the scene, who was so anti-Varg at the time, because he knew probably that Euronymous had plans to kill me. And this is probably also the reason why he understood that I had killed Euronymous, because he knew that Euronymous had plans to kill me. And of course, when a guy has plans to kill somebody and he ends up getting killed himself, you don't need to be a genius to figure out that perhaps it's the guy he planned to kill who did it, because he found out, like I did. And that got the title. So I think he just wanted to make a statement, a pro-Varg statement, by letting me write the lyrics for some of the tracks, which of course is very admirable by him. He is not only charming, intelligent, funny, he's also a very good-hearted fellow, and yeah, kudos to him. I love nature, and if you know how to read the signs, it says so much to you. Like right now, I've just noticed that the ground is covered with bits of cones, or what's it called? Yeah, I think it's called cones, under this tree. So there are no bits of cones over there, no bits of cones over there, no bits of cones over there, but here you have a whole lot. So that means simply that probably in this tree lives a squirrel. I wish I knew more about nature. I wish I had more experience and that I had been taught much more when I was young, because clues like this are everywhere and we modern man just don't know how to read them or to understand them, because we no longer live with nature but against it. So I hope that I can learn enough to make a difference for my children, and that they will be able to read these signs that throughout my life were completely invisible, sadly. And they were, of course, because my parent generation, the boomers, ruined everything and tossed all our knowledge, all our traditions in the bin, because they only wanted comfort and to make more money. All the glory to him and his band. I wish him good luck. Okay, thanks for watching, bye bye.